Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnu Dutt, and we are into our class number two of Git for Network Engineers. As you know, in the last class, we discussed about Rahul. Rahul had three major problems while he was maintaining and managing his network, right? Especially the files. When his manager came and asked few questions, he was not able to answer. First thing first, he was not able to say what is the recent version of the network. What is the current network state? And you already know in the last class he had almost 50 folders. Every folder is having 5 files, 250 files. Do we really need that kind of hard work? And you understand the name were so confusing also, right? And the last question Mr. Manager asked was that what is the difference between version number 40 and version number 50? Rahul was not able to answer that, right? So today is the day when we will be solving each and every problem of Mr. Rahul. See, I am not saying the problem along with Anjali. Anjali has different problems like collaboration problem. We will be talking about them in the next class. But to begin with, whatever we had, right? Whatever the problems we had in the last class, we will be solving them in today's class from Rahul's perspective. But to understand that, we need to understand basics of Git. We need to understand concept of hash. If you are from network security background, believe me, hashing is simple for you. Otherwise, it is anyway simple. So if you do not know anything about hash, we will be talking about it, right? But in the basics of it, I will be talking about architecture of Git. So do not worry. Architecture is very, very simple, right? Then in demonstration, as I discussed, we will try to resolve all the issues of Mr. Rahul. I will be talking about an important Git configuration setup, right? And then we'll be talking about Anjali's problem. I'll be talking about Git is not GitHub. And let's open an account in GitHub because it is going to be very important when we deal with remote repositories. What is the repository? Don't worry, I will be talking about that also in today's class. So here is the agenda. This was the agenda. If you give me your next 1 hour and maybe 20 minutes, believe me, these concepts are going to be always with you. I just need 1 hour of complete concentration from you guys. If you have any doubt, any question, just raise your hand and I will be stopping in middle of the class, right? Guys, is the problem again? Means am I audible or not? I
Yes,
think
yes,
I'm
we can
audible,
hear
right?
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whoever is not able to hear me, please rejoin the meeting, right? So let's move to the first board where we will be talking about let's break Git. What is the meaning? The meaning is if you break a bigger problem into multiple pieces and learn those multiple pieces, it is going to be always easy. Try to understand. We did this in case of TCP slash IP, right? What is TCP slash IP? You all know that it is a layered approach, right? The meaning is in TCP IP also, whoever has developed this, they are saying that if you divide this problem into 5 different pieces, like application layer, network layer, data link layer, right? Physical layer, you all know about it. That if you divide this problem into 4 or 5 pieces, it is always be easy to learn this. In fact, they developed TCP IP like this. Similarly, what I thought is that we break down Git into multiple pieces and learn those multiple pieces individually. And at the end of the class, at the end of the course, we will try to combine them. If we combine them, we will get back the Git again. So if I break Git using this hammer, I will be getting these 4 pieces. Piece number 1, piece number 2, then 3 and 4. If we talk about piece number 1, we will be talking about in great detail the topics including staging, committing, repository, and few other topics. So this is going to be the agenda of today's, whatever we have discussed, right? Then we will be talking about branching and merging. Do not worry about it. It's very intuitive concept. If you understand today's class, branching is going to be very easy. I have seen people struggling with the concept of branching and merging in Git, but Again and again, I'm saying it is easy. Then we'll be talking about hosting service like GitHub. By the way, as I always say, GitHub is not Git, but very important if you want to collaborate with people. How to clone, how to fetch, how to pull, how to push. What are the differences between them? We will be talking about it. And then in the last class, we will be doing a project so that whatever things you are means if you are want to move into the automation, if you are doing some scripting, if you are managing some files, right? This project is going to be for you. So by the way, we will be having demonstration in each and every class, but at the last, we will be combining everything. So in the last class, in the fifth class, after 20 minutes of theory session, we will be doing just practical as a part of this project, right? Having said that, let's move to the first board where I am going to showcase you a picture, right? A few people. And if you retain this picture in your mind, understanding Git architecture is going to be very easy. Okay. So if you see here, we have several people. We have 7 people here who are talking, laughing, right? And then we thought, let's let's make a memory of this moment, right? So we asked them that would you mind if I take a snapshot of you, if I take a photograph of you? And some of them say no, it's not a problem, but some say no, I do not want to be on stage, right? But 5 people out of the 7 came on stage for this photograph. So from random talking, we are bringing them onto stage so that I can click the photographs, right? So once they are on stage, they are ready, but we have to do this process from random things to bring them on the stage. We have to do this. Otherwise, we couldn't take the snapshot without their permission. And once they are ready, then we can take their snapshot. This is the final picture. I am repeating this word snapshot again and again because we discussed about snapshot yesterday also, or day before yesterday, right? So if you can remember this picture, if you can have this picture in back of somewhere in your mind, understanding Git architecture is going to be easy. Okay, so let's move to the next board, which I will come again, but let's move here. And we are talking about basics of Git. So if we talk about the problem in the first class of Mr. Rahul, what Mr. Rahul was doing, he is having a folder and he named this folder as Sports India Network or Sports India, right? And then he has 5 files inside it. R1, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. You all know about it, right? And then problem started when he was changing a particular file, then creating another folder, changing another folder, then another change, another folder. And this way he has more than 50 folders. And then problems started, right? But where at the point when Mr. Rahul started, he has just one folder and he had few files in it, 5 files, right? So basically we call this as working directory. Right now we are just understanding the basics of Git. And the first concept of architecture of Git is working directory. And this is your working directory. Git has no idea about it, right? So without Git also there was a directory, right? Which was the working directory. As simple as that, right? So have this concept in your mind that what is working directory, where a directory where you put all the files which basically you want to manage, which you want to version control, which you want to take a snapshot. Rahul doesn't want that every time he change a file, he has to create a folder, give it a name, put all the files there, and then also remember that what exactly was changed. This was the manual effort, right? Rahul didn't want to do that. And that is why we discussed about few of the things in Git in the last class, right? So we will be introducing Git along with this working directory. So working directory is still there if you can see. right here we have the working directory in which the 5 files are there. But now Mr. Rahul is saying that I will not do the same thing, right? Which I was using previously. Now I know a little bit about Git because of the Vishnu's class on Monday, right? And that is why he would utilize this Git to resolve its problem. So what it is saying, he has installed Git software in his laptop, and now he's asking for the help from Git. He's saying, Mr. Git, track, can you version control my working directory? And Git is asking, what is your working directory? Rahul is saying, my working directory is Sports India. This is my working directory. So Git is saying, just open a command prompt, go inside the Sport India, and you just need to write git init. In yesterday's class, sorry, day before yesterday class, I mentioned that if you do not have any idea about these commands, that is perfectly fine. But today I am introducing these commands officially. If you get any doubt, just raise your hand and I will be answering everything about that, right? There are only few commands in Git which are most important and you will be repeating them again and again. Git init is one of them. The meaning of Git init is that Rahul is saying, Git, please track Sports India. Please help me in version controlling Sports India or whatever files inside it, right? As soon as you write Git init, Git, the software itself, is going to create a folder inside Sports India. And this folder is going to be the hidden folder. I think we all are engineers here and we all know how to see hidden folder inside a particular folder because in our college time we all have done that, right? If we want to hide some of the files from our friends or maybe family members, we hide them, right? And how to see that? Maybe you just go to view, see files and folder hidden file, and you can see that. So when you do git init, Git software is going to put a folder inside the Sports India and it is going to name it as .git. And basically this is the folder where Git will be taking snapshots, right? And those snapshot which we call as commit. For example, if you have these files and you ask Git to take a snapshot to commit them, Git is going to take a commit of them and save somewhere here in this .git folder, which is the hidden folder. Whatever you do, just do not delete it if you are working or version controlling a folder using Git. And this blue color thing or the folder is also known as a repository, right? Why repository? I think you have heard about this name, repository. The meaning is that you are storing your snapshot, you are storing your saved configurations, you are storing all the commits in this folder. That is why it is repository. So three things I have mentioned till now. One is working directory. Sorry, two things I have mentioned, working directory. And the second thing is this .git folder, which is your repository. As simple as that. So to ask Git that please take care of this folder, you just need to give one command, which is git init, which is saying initialize this folder so that Git can track it. As simple as that. Now the second thing. Now again, working directory is still there. We have working directory, and in working directory we have these files. In the first picture, when I was showcasing those beautiful faces, then they moved them to the stage, right? So these are the files which are equal to those faces which are randomly talking and laughing, right? But out of them, you say, I would like to take a snapshot. And Git is also going to say, right, whatever the snapshot you want to take, put those files or those humans onto the stage. And by the way, as soon as you create a Git, there is a staging folder. By the way, I'm not saying it is literally there is going to be staging folder, but the concept is staging area. Git has this staging area, right? The meaning is if you want to take a snapshot, first you need to move file from here to here or add file into the stage, right? For example, out of 5 files, you want to track only 3, you can say add Mr. Git, add file number R1, switch 1 and switch 2 onto the stage. If you are putting them on the stage, it means that you are ready to take a snapshot. And whatever in the staging area, right, it will be get stored in another folder, right, where you will be having all your snapshot. One snapshot is known as one commit, which we mentioned, right? So step number 1, your working directory is something where you begin. Step number 2, you ask Git help, right? And it is going to create this blue folder, which is your repository. Step number 3, you are whatever you want to take a snapshot of, just put them on stage, right? So these 5 files are all those members for chatting and laughing. On stage, we have only those members who got ready for a snapshot. And then the commit, we have that particular pick, that snapshot, right? So the third thing which will be coming into picture in the next board, we are having it here. Whatever is on the staging area, by the way. So sorry for this. So sorry for this. Let me do it 100% and let me move back. Yeah. So the third concept is when whatever is in your staging area right here, right? If you ask it to do a commit, it is going to do the commit, and every commit is going to be here. Means all history of your commit. Commit means, see, when we were talking about Mr. Rahul, Rahul has 50 versions. Whenever he did a change, he did one version, and eventually he has 50 versions, right? 50 folders. Those 50, every one of them is commit. But now Rahul is not doing them manually. A system, a tool is doing it, right? What Rahul is actually doing, Rahul is saying, this is my folder, this is my working directory, Mr. Git, please version control it using initialization. Once it is initialized, blue folder is there. Git asks that whatever you would like to store or save, put that on staging area. Once it is done, whatever is on the staging area, I'm doing the commit, right? It is up to you how many times you want to put the files. For example, you send the file in the staging area, you did a commit. That is your commit number 1. Then the next step, you want only these 3 files to be on stage, you put them on stage and send, right? If there is a slightest of doubt coming to your mind that Mr. Vishnu, why this staging area is there? Why can't we just commit? Why can't we just store everything, right? And this is because this is the design choice of Mr. Linus, who developed the software. He wants to give you more control. For example, in the first commit, you want to store all the 5 files. Yes, you send all the 5 files to the staging area and commit. But in the second commit, you do not want to store all the 5 files. You have done only changes in 3 files. If that is the case, you just want to send this R1, switch 1, and switch 2, the 3 files to the staging area. It is giving you more control, right? So Mr. Linus want the system to be easy. The users will have more control. That is why we have the staging area, right? So this is all about basics of Git. We have learned 4 different terms. Number 1, working directory. I think you all understand from where you begin, where you have all the files. Then you have repository. You make a repository inside the working directory by using git init, right? The third step is the staging area, because before taking the snapshot, put those files onto the stage. And the last thing is commit or commit history or commit object, right? Which are there right there. So only four things are there, right? And if I go back to again the diagram or the picture which I was showcasing, this is how these are related, right? Working directory is as good as these people laughing and chatting, right? This is your working directory. Then you initialize Git and put some of the files in the staging area. Out of these people are ready to be ready to have a snapshot or a picture, right? What you did, you add them into the staging area. Once you add them into the staging area, then you say, Mr. Git, please commit. And whatever is in the staging area, it will be commit here. And then it will be empty. So that so that you can move new files to the staging area for the new commit. As simple as that, right? And we have all discussed this in the previous class, although we didn't have any knowledge of these commands. But now you should have a mental model. What happened when we do git init? Because when I was reading git for the first time, I was having a little hard time to understand this. So I thought picture and story, through picture and story, we can understand anything, right? And this is what is happening. See the working directory again, right? The same thing. If you want that this working directory to be tracked by git, use git init. As simple as that. Once done, if you want to move some of the file to the staging, you can use the command git add. When you are using git add, just have mental model that you are taking some files or all the files and moving them on the stage so that they get ready for the snapshot, right? So whatever is on the stage after git add, you just need to do git commit. If you do that, this will be your first commit, or this is going to be your first snapshot. As simple as that. So it is highly advisable that in the first commit, whatever the 5 files you have, you put them all of them on the stage so that Git knows about them. That yes, it needs to track everything. And when you do the first commit, all the 5 files are there. But and you can do it very simple, means if you do git add and if you put a dot, Git understand that and this is the most frequent command you are going to use. After every change you are going to do git add dot or maybe a particular file name, but git add dot mean that Git understood that in the current directory, whatever the number of files we have, I need to track it because it is right now there on the stage. And when you do git add dot, all the files will be on stage. If you do a commit, all those 5 files will be we will be Git will be taking the snapshot of everything whatever is on the stage. As simple as that. So 25 minutes are gone. We are done with the Git basic concept. If you guys have any doubt, any questions, please ask. Or at least tell me that am I audible? Anybody, please?
Yes, you're
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yeah,
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 you
you
are
are audible.
audible. Yes, you are audible.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So any question, guys? I don't think there is a question. We all are good. But I am again saying, if anything, in fact, in this class, if I have written 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, and if it is not making sense to you, even it is this much simple, please ask. Because this is the whole sole advantage of live class. Otherwise, I could have recorded this in a uh, in just one room, right, without you. So if you have, I can see the 2 questions are there. Uh, Anchobe, Mr. Anchobe, please ask your question. Please go ahead. Any doubt? I am not able to hear Mr. Anchobe. So sorry for this. Can anybody hear Chobeji? I don't think so. Mr. Shivam, please ask your question.
Hi, Vishnu. Am I audible to
Yeah,
you?
you are. You are.
All right. So I just wanted to know, as you gave us the example, that was really good, but I doesn't understand like how this thing is going to be used in the real. scenario? Like, does the git initiate and git add, is it something which is kind of a command which we are going to use, or it's like a directory which is going to be used in this
It
situation?
the three things which I have written here: git init, git add, and git commit. These are the real command. And don't worry, the next means after two boards, I have a complete demonstration, step by step. I will be explaining
Right.
everything. What are the commands? So don't worry about it. But you got the concept right, right? What is the staging, working directory, commit, right?
Yes.
Perfect. That is the
Yes.
whole sole intention. You will see the things in action pretty soon. Uh,
Hmm.
Bharat Singh ji, please ask
Yeah.
your question. Yeah, Mr. Bharat.
Okay. uh, my question is little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like until now, I I'm working in Azure DevOps environment
Mm-hmm.
where we do have this like I do have my understanding of Git. It was kind of a cheat sheet which I used to work on my production environment. But going through these classes, in theory, I'm getting your point, but I'm not able to relate with my production environment. Like I'm in lost some kind of. So that's the only point I want to
No,
raise.
this is very good. This is good. And the reason is, see, we have just learned first. We are just done with the first class where I talk about the problems faced by Mr. Rahul, right? But believe me, we are just talking about the solution here for a very basic problem. And the thing which you are using in your environment, it is related to the remote repositories where you must be using the centralized server somewhere where you put your savings, right, or put your commits, and the
Yes.
full team is working on that, right? But
Yeah.
Bharatji, this is just the start. I haven't touched upon the branching. I haven't upon the Git remote repositories. For example, if you are learning networking, let's take an example of networking. If I directly teach, means you do not know anything about networking. If I teach directly the BGP, it is going to be difficult for you. But if I teach you the concepts of IP addressing, if I teach you the concept of routing fundamental and then teach BGP, then it is going to make much more sense. So you understand that this is just the IP addressing of the Git. Once you have this thing, I I think you must be knowing this command: git add, git commit, git init, right?
Yes. Yes.
Huh. But don't worry. See, in your environment, after 5 classes, once we are done with everything, it is going to make sense.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
but try
Thank you.
to understand that this is the group, means we just started learning it, means for me it is just a 3 month old thing, but I am in so much love of this concept that even I am tracking most of the things using it now, right? So I just want that the people who are new into the field of scripting, automation, cloud, they all should have knowledge of the Git. Okay, but I am 100% sure at the end of the fifth class the things will make things will start making sense for sure. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
perfect. Apurva Jana, you can ask a question. Please go ahead. Apurva,
Yeah, hello. Hi, Vishnu. Good evening.
good evening.
So, here is my questions actually. So, you set up an example of 5 different devices, network devices, where R1, switch 1, switch 2 has made some changes and it committed to a commit folder for R1, switch 1, switch 2. So, my question is that, so where the switch 3 and switch 4 files resides? Is it still on the working directory or?
Yeah. So first thing first, whatever you put on the stage, right?
Mhm,
Git only track
mhm.
that. Otherwise, not. Otherwise, whatever the other files are there in the working directory, Git has no clue about it. So when you write Git init, Git will be initialized in this folder. But until and unless you say that these are the three files which is on stage, Mr. Git start tracking them. So if you want to track all the files, which is the normal use case of everybody, because if switch 3 and switch 4 you do not want to track, then why you are putting it here, right? So the first thing which you
Yes.
need to do is you need to do git add. Once you do the git init, git add. So, enjoying learning? If you have reached till this point of the video, I think you are enjoying learning, and I just do not want to waste your time. I would like to say that if you want to see this complete course, this course is available on my website, which is www.bridgewhy.com. Please have a look at it. And along with this course, there are so many other courses available. If you want to start your networking journey from the beginning, from the scratch, or if you are a seasoned networking engineer, please have a look at this website. So you can see here is my website. The link of this website is also available on the description area just below this video. Thank you so much and enjoy learning. The meaning is whatever is inside this folder, I want Git to track, right? Whatever I have done, it might be the second commit, but for the first commit, you do git add dot, all the 5 files will be here, then you commit, and in the first commit, all the 5 files will be there. Okay, this was my commit number 1. Then at the next commit, it might be possible that you are not changing anything in switch 3 and switch 4. You have just changed R1, switch 2, and switch 1, and that is what you want to stage for the second commit. Then the second commit, R1 switch to switch 1 will be on the staging. And when you commit in the second commit, these 3 files will be there. But I mentioned Git take the snapshot of everything. Now it is tracking because in the first commit you have mentioned there are 5 files in this folder, right? So Git is tracking 5 of them. So it is actively saving or taking the snapshot of these 3, but 2 files are still there, switch 3 and switch 4. In the first class, as I mentioned, these will be the pointer to the previous commit. So it is not, basically it is efficient also. Otherwise for Mr. Raul, he will be saving all the 5 files. It is saving the name of those files and giving the pointer to the previous version. Am I making any sense?
Yes, got it.
Perfect. But if you still have doubt, because that got it was not like that you get everything. Is it fine, Apurva?
Yes, I got it.
Perfect. Salih, Sahil hai ya Saleh hai, I don't know. If you please, yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Saleh.
Yeah, hi Vishnu.
Hi.
Vishnu, my questions related to the Git process.
Mhm.
So currently we are initiating the Git as a Git initialization, then
Huh.
Git add period or Git add the specific folder, correct? Then it will be go to the Git commit. If I want to add one more, for example, here we in the staging we are using R1, switch 1 and switch 2. Before I'm doing the git commit, is it possible to add one more git add
Yes,
switch?
yes, yes, 100%. And just wait for the demonstration. I will be doing all these if and buts there. Don't worry, Saleh.
So not required to go to the git commit. Before that, I can do the
Yes,
another.
you can do
I can
another
add
git
one
add.
more.
Yes,
Okay. So if I want to delete anything, is also possible. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so now one more concept and then we will be starting our demonstration. And that is concept of hash. I think most of the people understand this, but if it is not, that is perfectly fine. So in the last class, when I did this command git log online, what exactly it showed? It showed me that there are 2 commits. Commits means 2 times you have taken the picture of your folder, whatever the files you have, right? And first you given the name initialized all file, and the second you give this name, right? So there are 2 commits, but Git doesn't care about these name. Git care about this number, right? So you have certain files, you put them on the stage, Git commit, and then you did the commit. It means that everything is into the Git saving mechanism, which is the commit. So Git name, you name it, but Git give it a number, and this number is known as hash. So for this commit, the number is 54984BA, which you can see right here. And for the initialized all files, the first commit, this is the number. But what exactly this number is? Git says that this number is the fingerprint of this commit. What is the meaning of fingerprint? Let me tell you, right? So we talk about concept of hash. It is literally a fingerprint of a file. For example, if we talk about Anjali, and if we take Anjali's fingerprint, okay, and if I am 100% sure this is Anjali's fingerprint, then if there is any other person in this world, any ABC, if I take the fingerprint of that person, definitely these two fingerprints will never be identical. And that is why I can say this fingerprint the is something through which we can identify Anjali. As simple as that, right? But can we have the same fingerprint for a file or folder or a group of file and folder? 100% we can. And this is the digital fingerprint. For example, I have a file in which the contents are, hi there, how are you? Enjoying learning? Absolutely. I think you all are enjoying learning. And when I give it to a box, which is nothing but an algorithm, what this algorithm is, it is just out of the syllabus, you can say. But there is a box. If I give this file to this box will generate a number just like this fingerprint. And this number is actually your fingerprint of this file. If we change slightest, if we change only this question mark in this file, and again give this file to this algorithm, the number it will produce is going to be totally changed, right? It means that if two files which are producing the same output, same value, then I can call these two files as identical. For example, if there is another person B, and if I take a fingerprint and this fingerprint exactly matches, then I am 100% sure that A is equal to B, means this B person is nobody but the Anjali, right? Similarly, if two files are producing the same number after this algorithm, then it means that these two files are same. See here, what I'm doing here, I have a file and then I have put a number here. Actually, this number is the fingerprint of this. If I just change here, hi there, how are you enjoying learning Git? Here I just said enjoy learning and I am here saying Git. Just this change and this number is totally changed. Interesting, right? So hash is a number which is just like a fingerprint, right, of a particular file. Every file can give us this number if we send it to an algorithm, and that algorithm is known as hash algorithm, by the way. So if I broadly explain the concept of hash, the meaning is just simple. We have a file, we give it to the hash function of or a box, and it will produce a number. This number is actually the fingerprint of this file. If we change anything in this file and give this file again to this box, it is going to produce the different number, right? And it is one way. The meaning is I can go from here to here, from file to number, but if I have a number, I cannot produce the full file again. As simple as that. So what Git is doing, Git is actually storing your commits, right? This was your commit number one. By the way, if I say commit, it is just a snapshot, right? Then we have commit number two. Then we have commit number three. We identify these commits using name, initialize file, added BGP, added OSPF configuration. But Git identify these files on the basis of a number which it generated from this files itself. If there is any change in file, the second number is going to be totally different. And these numbers are hash, which we have seen in the previous board. As simple as that, right? So if we have these concepts in our mind, right? Number one, working directory where you put all the files. Number two, .git, which is your repository, which is formed by git init command. Number three, staging. If you want to take a snapshot, put the files on the staging first, right? To begin with, put all the files on stage. Number four is your commit or the snapshot. and all the commits are going to be stored in this Git. That is why we are calling it the repository. As simple as that, right? So if we have all these concepts in our mind, what we can do now is we can have a little demonstration, right? What is going to be in demonstration, I will be explaining you in this next board. So in previous class, whatever the problem of Mr. Rahul were, what was those three problems? Number one, Rahul has stored or Rahul has created 50 folders or 50 versions manually, named them manually, right? In every folder, there are 5 files, mean 250 files, not very efficient. And how is going to find out the 50 names? Because people like us give name. This is final. This is seriously final, right? We want a system which can do all this work automatically. This was Rahul's problem number one. Guys, are you able to hear me? I think somebody is saying I'm lost.
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
can
no,
hear
you're
you.
audible, you're audible.
Perfect. The second problem was when Rahul's manager came and he asked, what is the change he did in folder number 50 or folder number 40? Rahul had no clue about it. The third problem was Rahul's manager said, what is the difference between folder number 45 or version number 45 and version number 50, right? And Rahul had no clue about it. But now Rahul has all the clues. Rahul has all the answer. See the face of Mr. Rahul. He is ready to answer everything because he now not doing things manually, but he is doing things automatically and using a solution called Git or a tool called Git, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to showcase you in this demonstration is that I will be having a sports India directory, which is going to be my working directory. Inside this working directory, I will be having these 5 files, right? To begin with, I will be putting all those 5 files, right, onto the stage and then do a commit so that here I will be having commit number one and I will be naming that initialized files, suppose. Then what I'm going to do is I will be, see, once I do this, once I do this, all the files commit, Git will be tracking all the files, right? Because Git knows all the files are there. In the second commit, it is not necessary that I'm going to make changes in every files. Maybe I'm going to make change in R1, switch 1 and switch 2. In the second commit, I will just send only 3 files on stage and do the commit. And that is going to be my commit number 2, right? If my manager came and asked, what did you do in commit number 2? I can literally tell him that what exactly I have done. If he can ask what is the difference between commit 1 and commit 2, I can tell him. And believe me, it is highly efficient. In the commit 1, it is stored 5 files. In the commit 2, it stored 3 files, but still it has 5 files. Why? Because the other 2 files are available in the previous commit, so it will be having pointer. If you don't get it, that is perfectly fine. But I would like to showcase you. And then maybe Mr. Rahul's manager can say, can you get all the files from commit to? And I will be going into the commit to, and I will be fetching all the 5 files and showcasing you, right? Next 20 minutes are going to be highly crucial because this is going to be the complete foundations of Git, right? So what I'm doing here is I am opening my workspace, basically my VS Code here, right? And if I showcase you what exactly on this I have here is, I have this folder with the name Sports India Network English, and I have these 5 files here. So there are some command which will be duplication of the first class, but don't worry, be with me, right? So what exactly I have here? I have this directory here, right? And in this directory, I have 5 files, R1, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and switch 4. I think you all agree with me, right? And if I see the content of R1, I have OSPF configuration, right? Now, what Mr. Rahul wants to do is Rahul wants to track everything or version control this folder, right? To begin with, here I am doing everything. So first thing first, let me see whether I have Git installed here or not. So I will be doing Git hyphen hyphen version. So it is going to show me that this is the Git version you are on 2.5.2, 2.52.0, right? Then if I want to track this complete folder, I would like to be in this folder first. Right now I am in Sports India Network Hindi folder because it was the previous class, right? So what I'm going to do is cd dot dot means I am just moving one step back and I will be seeing the directory. What are the directories here? So I will be going into the English directory, right? So cd Sports India English because this is the English class. And if I do a dir, we have all 5 files here, right? Do we have any hidden file here? To show that, what I need to do is dir/a, right? Very simple, how to see the hidden files. As I mentioned that when I say git to track this folder or version control this folder, git is going to create a repository in it with the name .git. But right now, nothing is there. No repository with .git is there. It means that git is not tracking it, right? So number one step, first step, Rahul is saying, just track this folder for me using this command, git init. When I do this, it is saying initialized empty git repository in this, right? So if I now show you dir, you can say, Vishnu, nothing has changed. But if I do dir/a, you will see another directory which is created by git. And this is this one. And by the way, this is your repository. So what Git has done inside this folder, it has created another folder with the name .git, which is known as repository. Some people say this complete project is known as repository, because that is also fine. The reason is because at the end of the day, in Sports India, you have all the 5 files, right? And when you say this, what has changed here? This VS Code is a phenomenal tool. It is saying, see, it has converted all those files into the green color, and it is saying all these, although you have git here, but all 5 files are untracked. Git has no knowledge about it, right? And if you want to track them, put them on stage. Although you have enabled git into this folder, we can see the git folder, but right now nothing is there, right? Nothing, no file is known by git, or you can have this here also. So git, just raise your hand if you have any doubt, any question. Let me complete this board and I will be taking all the questions, don't worry. Just I need concentration of 10 to 15 minutes. So what I'm doing here is I am doing git status, and git is showcasing me the same thing, that although you have enabled git for this folder, I will be doing the version control, but these 5 files are there which I am not tracking, right? It is written there, untracked file. It is the VS Code is showcasing you, showing you here, right? So all these red color files are still untracked. So what I need to do, suppose I would like to say that I want to track R1, right? So I need to send this file to the staging area. Remember, all these people are just laughing and talking, right? These 5 files are like them, right? And now I want to take a snapshot. So I need to ask which one is ready. Suppose R1 gets ready. So I am sending or adding it to stage, and the command is git add R1. If I do that and show here git status, it is going to say now this file is known by Git. It is on the stage and it is ready to be committed. As simple as that. right? So what is exactly there on R1? On R1 we have OSPF configuration. In switch 1 we have just VLAN 100 configuration. Switch 2 VLAN 100, switch 3 VLAN 100. And if you do not know about VLAN or router OSPF, that is perfectly fine, because this can be any file, any scripting file or anything, right? I just added only R1, so Git knows only R1. If I do a commit right now, only R1 will be committed. But I do not want to do that. Maybe I would like to add switch 1 and switch 2 more. If I do that, I will be writing git add switch 1 and switch 2. If I do this, have a look at it, git status. If I do this, it is saying that these three files are now on stage. These files are added, and sure enough, here it is showcasing me A means added to stage, and these two files are not tracked, means these two files are untracked. If I want to track everything, if I want to send every file of this folder to the stage, I am just writing git add dot. That is it. If I do that, see, all files are added. If I do a git status, here you go, right? All these files are ready for committed. Now I will do my first commit. I will do git commit, and it will be good or the best. I have to give this commit a name. Although Git will be giving it as a hash number, but I am giving it a name, right? And the name is, these are my initialized files. Okay. If I do this, all these files are there. Very easy, right? Now I would like to showcase you Git status, and it is going to say that nothing to commit because you have already commit. What is the meaning of this on branch master? Don't worry, we will be introducing the concept of branches and remote repositories very soon, maybe in the tomorrow's class. And uh, Bharat will be really uh, learning that yes, these things are going to make in his production environment when we learn branches and remote repositories, right? So till now, what we have done, we have the working directory, we have moved them every file to the stage, and then we have committed it, right? So if I see the commit, first commit, so for that you can do a show git show. It is going to, okay, let's see first git log. So git log is saying that this is your first commit, initialized file, right? And Git is saying or remembering this with this number. And I was mentioning only 7 starting digit of this number. This is the complete hash, by the way. This is the complete hash. I was just talking about starting 7 numbers, and Git is saying these numbers are going to be different. So if you want to see just that, you can run this command also, git log hyphen uh, one line. So it is going to showcase you this now. And this is going to be very important command which you will be using. Now, what exactly there is in the first commit, I would like to showcase you. So you can do this git show, and after that you can have these 7-digit hash value. If you put it here, it is going to show you everything, whatever is in this git show, right? But it is very important to understand the output. See, this is your first commit, by the way, right? And it is showing you everything, whatever is inside this commit. So please pay close attention here. When I did the git show, this one, it is going to show me all the things which are there in the first commit. The first commit name was initialized files. It was written by me. How to do that, I will be talking about it. How you are going to put your name and your email ID here, because it will be very important to put your name. Because if you are working with 200 people in coming in a production environment, it is very important that what change has done by whom, right? So the commit name was this, commit hash was this, and now let's try to understand what exactly it is saying. It is saying that you have this R1. So wherever it is written negative, negative, right? Or this positive, the negative means the previous version, or this plus plus means this version. This is previous, negative means previous, and this is. So we have two things here. We have minus 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 dev null, and we have plus 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 this one, right? What is this? I understand this R1 is my file which is present which is present in this commit for sure. But what is this dev null? See, this is my first commit. I do not have anything or any previous version. And if I don't have any previous version, Git is mentioning this file as null, right? So right now, if somewhere dev null is written, you can understand this is your first commit. In the first commit, we have only R1 file. Inside this R1, we have these two things, right? First thing is dev null. Dev null means nothing. It doesn't have anything. So that is why it is written 0, 0. The meaning of 0 is it in this file we have only 0 number of file, right? Sorry, 0 lines, right? But if we talk about here, this file has is starting from one number and ending at 2. For example, if I show you the content of R1, so sorry for this. Yeah, if I showcase the concept of this, just try to understand this. By the way, guys, I am in the R1 right now. If you can see, it is having just 2 lines, and that is why it is saying R1 is starting from first line. It is having just 2 lines. That is it, right? And 0, 0 means the previous file, which doesn't exist. Similarly, we have here the switch. Previously, there was no switch. We are introducing new switch, right? Because this is the first. And in the switch also, we have only 2 lines. It is starting from line number 1, ending at 2. What is this plus means? The plus mean this current file. What is this minus means? Minus means the previous file, which doesn't exist. That is why 0, 0. It is very important to understand this, right? If you want to work on the command line. Similarly, we can see by coming here and pressing, we will be having this switch 2, we will be having switch 4, and so on. If you want to come out, just press Q, right? So what we just saw what is exactly there in our first commit. That is it. Anybody, any doubt on this? Please raise your question. If you don't get it, that is also perfectly fine, right? But I just want to showcase you that with this command git show, you can go inside a particular commit and see. By the way, right now I'm showcasing you everything on the command line, but don't worry, Git is not that boring. When we introduce GitHub, you do not need to see everything on the command line. There is a full-fledged GUI which will be showcasing you everything. What has been added, what has been deleted, everything, right? But right now, if you see, we have switch 1, switch 2, configuration, everything is same. Somebody is asking, can you tell us what is this at the rate? See, it is just the representation way. As I mentioned, that right now we have only one commit, which is initialized, right? And inside this, we have R1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. Before that, there was nothing. There was null, right? We do not have anything here. So show command just represent what is the change between these two, right? So previously R1 was not there at all. So if you see, it is talking about at the rate, this one, which is null. Nothing was there, right? It was starting from -0, ending at 0. That means there is no line in this file. If we talk about R1 at the rate means now talking about R1, right? And so at the rate just means it is just starting and finishing here. That's it, right? This one is for the old file which doesn't exist. This one is for the new file which exists, which is starting, which is only having 2 lines, starting at line number 1, ending at line number 2. That is it. I will be showcasing when we do the 2 commits and compare them, it is going to make more sense. So don't worry, right? So till now we are good. We have our first commit here, no doubt about it, right? And now let's do What we are going to do is, previously, see, we just did till now this thing. We have our folder. Inside this folder, we have 5 files, and all these 5 files we have sent to the commit. And that was our commit number 1, which is known as initialized files. That is it, what we have done. Now what we are going to do is, I will be changing in R1, switch 1 and switch 2. That is it. I will not make a change on switch 3 and switch 4. And I will put them on stage, these 3 files, and then commit. That is it. So what the change I am going to do, just have a look at it here. I am going on R1 and I am doing router BGP 100 and again router ID 1.1.1.1, right? And I am doing a save. And the one most important thing is, whatever you do, you just do a change. And by the way, you can see here, Git is tracking, it is saying R1 modified. It is saying it is modified, but nothing is committed. If you go to the switch 1 now, I am creating, oh, so sorry for that, Control Z. I am creating another VLAN here, VLAN 200, name is marketing. Okay, I am saving it. Let me copy it, and I am changing it also and saving it. Now see the interesting thing here, guys. Okay, these 3 files have been modified. If I do a git status here, it is saying these 3 files are modified, but it is not staged. Okay, change is not staged for the commit, right? So what I need to do, I need to commit them, right? Sorry, I need to add them to the stage before taking a snapshot. So I'll be doing git add R1, switch 1 and switch 2. As soon as I do that, these 3 files are going to be on stage. So if I do show, or not show, git status, it will be saying all these files have been modified, right? And now the final thing I can do is, I can do a git commit and write a beautiful message here that I have added BGP config BGP in R1 and VLAN 200 in switch 1 and switch 2, which I did, right? So enter. 3 file change, 6 insertion, and now we will be having 2 commits which we can see using this command show log, not show log, git log, and then what? Git log, and then your one line. This is the command which you are going to use most, right? So it is showcasing it. These 2 commands are these two commits are there, right? Now your manager came and say, can you tell me what exactly the difference between these 2, right? And I would like to showcase you that. So the difference, calculation of difference is very, very easy. You just need to write git diff and take the hash value of first commit, which is the initialized commit, right? And then you take the second commit and then do enter. Now this is going to make much more sense to you, right? And I'd like to spend another 2 minutes on this. Just have a look at it, please. So I'm comparing 2 commits, right? I have 2 commits now. I have initialized commit and BGP and VLAN commit, 2 commits, right? So I am comparing R1 of initialized with R1 of BGP VLAN. Okay, so let's see here. What is this minus 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 represent? This represent initialized commit, the previous version. What is this plus 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 R1 represent? This represent BGP commit. Okay, and here you can see that the initialized file have starting from line number 1 and ending at What is the meaning of this minus? This minus is representing previous version, right? Initialized version. What is this plus is representing? This is representing current version, the BGP or the current commit. The current commit, you all know that in router number one, previously there were two lines. It's starting from number one, and now when we added the BGP configuration, it is having 4 lines. The previous were initialized only have OSPF configuration started from 1 and ending at 2. So this is the meaning of this one, right? And you can see here, previously there were only 2 commands, and then we added here. So whatever is written in plus here, these were added, right? And this were already present. Similarly, in switch 1, you can see here, VLAN 100 was already there, and we have added VLAN 200. And similarly, you can see the other commits. Guys, any doubt here? Any doubt? And by the way, it is showcasing you only R1, switch 1, and switch 2 because there is no change in switch 3 and switch 4. Okay. Till now, what we have done is I am just explaining you once again. We had a folder. Mr. Rahul asked help from Git. Please track this folder. He had taken 5 files out from it, right, and put them on stage and did a first commit, and the name of the first commit is this one, right, initial. Then he put only 2 files on the stage, and the second commit was BGP and VLAN commit. That is it. And now we are comparing these two things. Somebody is saying, just please explain this thing again. And this is the beauty of this video, that we can again and again run it, right? But if you show, if I would like to explain it to again to you, I am just checking the difference between my initial commit and the BGP commit, right? In the initial commit, I had R1. Here, I also had R1. In the initial commit, I had only these 2 lines. In the final commit, I have these 4 lines from 1 to 4, right? So this one is just specifying this green color, that in R1 you have this green color lines extra, and of course these BGP commit, I have added these 2 lines extra. That is it. If I talk about these number, this number negative represent that the previous commit, means initial commit, I have only from line 1 and 2. But in the new commit, I have line number 1 to 4. As simple as that, right? So the last thing I would like to tell you, now your manager came and he said that, yeah, you have 2 folders or you have 2 commit. Can you show me what exactly there in this second commit, right? So I would like to showcase you what exactly there in second commit. To get that, you just need to do git show, and I think it is going to ask me the hash. So what I'm going to do is git log one line. If I write this, okay, hyphen hyphen, and if I do a git show hash, this is my second commit, and hyphen hyphen stats, not stat. So it is going to tell me that in the second commit you have these 3 files, but you can argue with me that Mr. Vishnu, this is not true. Second commit should have 5 files, right? Because Git is tracking all the 5 files. Why there are 3 files? These are the 3 files which got changed. But if you want to see all 5 files, you need to run this command. By the way, these are just the command I will be sending you these commands over, because even I don't use them always, so I don't remember them. So I have made a note of this, and I will be sharing you with this. So ls-tree, and then the hash, and here it will be showcasing you that all 5 files are present. And by the way, you can take these files out. Now your manager says, I want these files, all the files in the second commit. How you are going to do? See, we are on the command line. it is looking a little bit tough. But when we see the GitHub and everything, these things are going to be just copy paste whatever you do. But we can take these files out. For example, right now, if I showcase you here, uh, nothing is there in my archive directory, right? So what I can do is whatever is there in this commit, I can just take it out from here. And how to take that out? I am just copy paste a command here. So instead of C drive, I am using a D drive. That is it. That is the only change I need to do. And the commit is also going to be changed, the number. What I'm doing right now is I am actually taking out all the files of second commit into a particular folder in my computer, right? So here you go. If I do a enter here, you can see this files, and if I unzip it here, maybe compress to, not compress, extract all. Okay, if I do this, you can see all the files are here, right? If I see the content of this file, it will be asking me where I will be, oh, maybe through Notepad, you can see the content, as simple as that, right? By the way, you can do the unzip of file also from here. That is fine. I do not want to showcase that, but this is what the demonstration looks like. So basically, whatever your manager is asking, where are these files? What is the change in the two previous version? You can do everything. Now I am open for any of your question, whatever is coming to your mind. As I mentioned, that if 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 is not making sense, please ask. Any question is most welcome. Mr. Rohit Srinivas, thank you so much for asking question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Vishnu, my question is, what about the syntaxing that the files will be saved? Will that follow any operating system based, or how it is like? So
Pardon, could
if
you
we
please
want
repeat?
to,
I forgot. Means I forgot the track. Can you please ask your question again? So sorry for this.
okay, yeah, that's fine. So what about the syntaxing of the files going to be saved, or what we are, trying to reload the configuration backups to the devices? So will it follow the text files are going to follow any device specific, how they are going to store while we are making changes in the configurations?
Those are, see, right now I am dealing with the text files, right? If you
Hmm.
have Python file, it is going to be in the Python format. Whatever you specify, it will track in that.
Okay, in generally we take manual backups, kind of, if suppose I'm talking about a specific vendor, if you don't mind, Cisco.
Mhm.
So we'll just copy paste the syntax, right? If
Yeah.
we if we want to just, restore the backup.
Yes.
So in that perspective, how these files will be used for, like, or do I need to, just see and backing up, restoring the device? Is that how can I use it?
So see,
This
basically, suppose
filing.
there is a device, right?
Mhm.
And if you can take a backup of it, just put the backup here in a particular folder, right? If
Mhm.
you want to do a change, just do a change accordingly. See, in my example, it is a script, or basically it's a configuration. I can go see, this thing should be correct with the syntax wise, right? So the best thing is, means if you are using a software defined networking solution, just take a configuration of all the devices, put them. If you want to do a change, just change them and then push back again the configuration. But I am still not um, getting what exactly the question here. So what I can do for you is I can write your whatever the question is here, and then we can discuss. So you are saying that you have a device, suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to say simply how to retrieve using this configuration.
No, it
I
is
mean,
not about
how this.
retrieving. It is not about retrieving. See, what I am
Okay.
saying is you must have a folder first, which is having all
Okay.
these files, right?
Yes.
And how you are getting those files, it is none of Git business, right? But if you
Mm.
have hundred of files here, maybe few more folders and inside the file, right? If you want to version control is you just do a git init, right? And it is going to be version control. If you do a little bit change here, any change here, What Git is going to do? Git is going to create that history of commit number 1, commit number 2, that you have changed. You just do the commit. Now, once you have all these files, right, in the final state, and you want that this should go into the device, just take this file out and put into this device. But yes, but your syntax, whatever is required by device, it is your responsibility, not Git.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Abhishek ji, please ask your question. Mr.
Yeah,
Abhishek.
good evening.
Good
Yeah,
evening,
good
bhai.
evening. So I have three questions. So
Please
first
go ahead.
question is how to integrate with this Git means two individual one means application I have. One is Visual Studio and one is Git, as you said to download it. So I do have both. So how I can integrate the Git with the Visual Studio. And second thing, I have, as you said, this hidden folder. So it is present because of you integrated, right? Then only the .git file
No.
was.
It is present because I run this command. See, you need to install these two applications. First one is your VS Code. I think you have installed it, right? First thing.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
second thing is you need to install Git from the site which I mentioned in the first class.
Yes,
One,
that's correct.
when you are installing the Git, you just mentioned Git has the default editor, which is Vim,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
When you install
Mhm.
Git, it will ask him which is going to be your default editor. Okay.
Okay.
So instead of
Mhm.
Vim, you need to give the VS Code. Okay.
Okay.
One thing.
Okay.
Once it is there, uh, this VS Code comes with a terminal, right?
Mhm.
Then what you are going to do is create a folder anywhere in your Windows files or wherever you are, right? For example, what I
Okay.
did is I created a Sports India Network English folder. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And then what I did
Mhm.
is I open this folder here, like go to file and do a open folder. Okay.
Okay.
When I open
Mhm.
a folder, all these files will be here, whatever I have, right?
Okay. Mhm.
So
Yes.
what just happened? Now you have a folder. Means if I show you here, you have this folder here, and all these 5 files are here. But it is not tracked by Git to begin with,
Okay.
right? So you open
Okay.
a terminal from here, right?
Mhm.
And you have selected a
Mhm.
terminal. In this terminal, whenever
Okay.
you open, you just go to this directory, whatever the directory you have. By default, it
Yes.
will
It's
open in this
posted.
directory itself, right?
It's posted. Yeah. Exactly.
And then you run this Git. First, you check whether Git is there or not, right?
Mhm.
So Git
Yes.
hyphen version, if you give, it will showcase like this. And then you say that Git, please help me in version controlling this folder. You do the Git and then init command.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Okay.
what I did. And then everything is
Okay.
whatever I am doing is just like that.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Is
third question was this.
uh
Yeah. That's very important. And last question was this Git archive you have given, and then it is necessary to give this output command because
No. It
as
is
I
not necessary. See, what I was showing you is in the first class, I mentioned that Mr. Manager came and asked so many questions to Mr. Rahul, right? And it might
Mhm.
become, for example, you have 50 commits you have created. I was just showcasing you where these commits are, where these files are.
I
Can you
understood. I
take out
understood
the
that. Yeah.
files of commit number 45 or not?
Yeah, I understood that.
Mhm.
You are just taking that backup to the local system.
Yes.
But my question is the same. Means, once you are doing the archive, so you are giving this URL path, right? Directory, D directory path. So this command, can you show me that command, please?
Yeah. For that, I'll go here. Let me see if it is in. I think here. Yes.
Yes, this is this. So till here, yes, this has value, and then you have given hyphen output. So this D I can see this is the your this is path for your directory, right? Or
Yes.
any directory path. Yes.
Yes.
So this is output command, right? Output
Yes.
equal to, and then we are giving the this URL path and
Correct.
dot zip. Like means we are doing Linux, same
Correct.
thing we
Correct.
are doing.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. This is my
Perfect.
queries.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much for your lovely question. I have just one more board or basically two more board. That is it. So when when I'm showcasing you git log command, right? You see my name here and my email ID here, right? So when we are in upcoming classes, we will be having, maybe we can work with 2 or 3 people, or maybe in the production environment you will be working with 100 people. It would be good that if you mention or if you configure your name and email ID, right? To configure it, it is very simple. Uh, you just need to use these two commands to set the global thing. For example, when you buy a mobile phone, right, it comes with the by default ringtone, right, and by default wallpaper also. Git also come with something default. It is going to take the name from your system and it will be printing, right? But if you really want to put your name and whatever your email ID is, you can use this command. This is basically Git configuration level command, where you are setting some global parameter, and this username Vishnudat, user mail this one. And if you want to see what are the global parameter you have set, you can do this. For example, I have set only these two parameters. So if I want to check this, that what parameters I have, only bit. Okay, so I can do git config hyphen hyphen list. Oh, sorry, global list. So I have set these two variables. That is why basically my name and my email address was there, right? So now the question comes, Mr. Vishnu, you have solved the problem of Rahul, all the problems of Rahul in the one. So in case if you do not, if you just want to take care or manage your file in your local machine, this much Git you should know. That is perfectly fine. But Git is much more than that. Believe me. When you are collaborating with other people, for example, if you are working with Anjali, because Rahul has to work with Anjali, and in the previous class I showcased you that Rahul has shared everything over WhatsApp, and Anjali understood at that moment that this company is mismanaged. They are not managing their files, but at the end of the day, Anjali also followed the same culture, right? So wouldn't it be great that Rahul now can solve his problem? Can Git solve the collaboration problem also? When Anjali will start working on this Git, right? On the same folder, how the conflict are going to be managed? If the same line is changed by Anjali, if the same line is changed by Mr. Rahul, how come system is going to take care of that, right? And is it the correct way to share these files with Anjali over just WhatsApp? Is there any other way, right? Can we put our complete repository into the cloud, and from the cloud, Anjali can get this repository or clone this repository, right? And that is where the cloud will come into picture. So there are several services, right? Like GitLab or GitHub, which provide you this kind of facility to put your repository on the cloud, so that your team members can fetch them or clone them into their local machine instead of sending on WhatsApp. So will GitHub only solve this problem, or GitLab only solve this problem? No, there is much more on that front, but this is the problem GitHub is solving. Whatever the project you are working on, if you want to work along with several other people, you can put your repository into this cloud so that other people can see your work, so that other people can contribute to your work without any problem. How it is going to be, I would request you guys, please create a GitHub account. And how to do that? Just go into this website, github.com, right? right here. And on github.com, just do a sign in. It is going to ask you, can I sign in using your Gmail? Just say yes, and you will have an account there. It is so simple. Once you have an account, because in the upcoming classes, we will be heavily utilizing GitHub when we want to work with multiple people, multiple folks, right? So overall, you just need three things to do the practicals. Number one, VS Code, right? I think which you have already installed. Then you should have Git. While installing Git, only one change you need to do. By default, Git has its code, its editor as Vim. But instead of Vim, you need to give to VS Code because you want these two integrated, right? VS Code and then Git. Once you have this, I just want one more thing from you. Just create an account on GitHub. I will be telling you how to create a repository there of the remote repository, so you do not worry about it. So this is what I had in this class for you. I know this will be heavy, but if you have seen the first class, if you understand the concept, if you understand the concept of working directory, staging, and the history, commit history, repository, believe me, all these things are simple. We have just learned only few commands, 5 or 6 commands. Whatever the commands I have used, whatever the demonstration I have given, right? In today's class, I will be copy pasting each and every step. I am new to Git. I am really enjoying it in managing and maintaining most of my files, right? And believe me, in upcoming time is challenging. You will need Git somewhere. Although we do not need to spend maybe 100 of hours in Git because we need to just use it so that our work will be effective. Having said that, thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. If you guys have any doubt, any question in today's class, please do ask. Thank you, Mr. Chaubiji, for you are saying it's a nice session. Thank you so much. And these kind of comments, these kind of emojis really help me to create some wonderful content. And by the way, guys, just one request. All the recordings will be uploaded on my website, will be uploaded, right? For this class also. Just go and register for that course. It is absolutely free, right? I will be putting the registration link on my website. You just need to click it to get all the courses, so all the classes. And one special favor I want, just review my website on Google, please, my friends, right? It will means a lot. I will be sending that link too. It is going to be 1 minute job for you, but thank you so much. And thank you so much, by the way, for your lovely emojis also. Thanks, Martin, for the thumbs up. Thank you, Harshal. Uh, See you. By the way, there is going to be class tomorrow also at the same time. See you tomorrow at 9:30. Sorry, 9 p.m. IST. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Vishnu.
I think there is a question from Mr. Martin. Yeah, please go ahead, Martin. Martin, if you have question, please go ahead. I think I'm not able to hear you. Edward, thank you. That's fine. Okay, see you in tomorrow's class. Bye for now.